We are back 8:10 with our exclusive and deeply personal interview with Charles Spencer, Princess Diana's only brother, the uncle of the future King William, and of course Queen Elizabeth's godson.
And it's partly why his new memoir, it's called A Very Private School, it chronicles what he describes as years of abuse, and it's causing shockwaves ahead of its release.
Spencer sat down at his family's estate for his very first interview about the book with NBC senior investigative and legal correspondent Cynthia McFadden. Cynthia, good morning.
It's great to be here with you. Well, Charles Spencer is the first to say he grew up with enormous privilege, telling me it's important to him that it not seem as if he's looking for sympathy. Rather, he hopes by coming forward with the alarming details of the abuse he says he suffered as a child, he can both promote healing and sound an alarm. We want to warn you, some of what he has to say is deeply upsetting.
A happy memory from childhood.
Charles Spencer still has the little red jacket he wore, standing next to his sister Diana at the local day school they attended together. From the beginning, she was his protector.
My first day there, the headmistress said Diana wouldn't settle in the classroom. And she said, go on, go and check on him. And Diana ran out and came and looked into my classroom to see I was okay. And then she came back and said to the headmistress, he's fine.
But all that would soon change.
Within 4 years, I was 8, being sent off to a brutal place by myself, saying goodbye to Diana, who I grew up with.
His eyes stung with tears. He was headed to Maidwell Hall, the all-boys boarding school he says he can't bear to remember, but will never forget.
We were like prisoners. We were prey to very bad people's worst instincts.
He says that the worst of those bad people was the school's headmaster, Mr. Porch.
In my view, a pedophile and a sadist. And he staffed the school himself with either people who were going along with what he was doing or were going to be mute about it.
What was going on, he says, was not just bleak, but often criminal.
This is not a bunch of mid-teen, late-teen kids going through a rough school. This is children being sexually, physically, and emotionally abused on a daily basis.
We sat down with Spencer, a best-selling author and historian, at Althorp, home to his ancestors since 1508. It's surrounded by over 10,000 acres of farm and parkland. Inside, priceless paintings by Van Dyck and others. It's also his famous sister's burial place. So much of what you write about, I think, will leave readers speechless. So contrary to everything we think about the privileged life. All the money, the homes, being the godson of the Queen, which you are.
I told a friend of mine about this recently, and he said, I just can't believe you weren't protected, as if coming from this incredibly privileged background somehow would be a protection against pedophiles and sadists. But there is no protection against those sorts of people.
Especially when secrecy is paramount.
The most important code of this very flawed regime was never to tell tales.
The secrets the 75 boys, all under 13, kept were dark.
Every week, at least half a dozen would be whipped with a cane. And we all had showers together after sports, and you could see the blood, the split skin.
How could the parents not have asked questions?
I have a theory. So the old money there sort of thought, well, this is going to make my son tougher and more successful. And then people who had made money more recently thought, well, this is what they do, and we want to be part of this set.
He says abuse came from some of the teachers, too.
There was one particularly violent master, and he caught me by myself in a changing room going out to play cricket. And he just grabbed me and threw me over his knee. And cricket boots have spikes on them, metal spikes. And he beat me and beat me.
But what has truly haunted him was being sexually abused at the age he was in this portrait, 11. The predator, he says, a young adult female, a member of the staff charged with taking care of the young boys.
She would come round to my bed when others were asleep and kiss me, you know, French kiss, for ages. And it was if I was 17, 18, it would be a different thing. But I was 11. It was so confusing.
He says she was sexually abusing several other boys and having intercourse with at least 2 of them.
I mean, I'm embarrassed to say it was thrilling, especially in an emotional desert. But of course, it was terrible. She pretended she was going to have to leave early to keep us all on tenterhooks, really. And I remember cutting myself as a sort of, I thought if I hurt myself enough, then God will let her stay.
When he was 12, he says, and traveling with his mother in Italy, he secretly acted out the final scene of the sexual abuse from the year before.
I had not had sexual intercourse with the predator, and I took my pocket money and I lost my virginity to a prostitute, and at the age of 12, and I see that as the completion of what she had done to me.
Who's the first person you ever told what had happened to you?
A therapist when I was about 42.
You kept this inside?
Yes. And he said, whisper to me one thing you've never told anyone. And I said, I was sexually abused by a woman when I was a child. That was the nickname I had in my family before I went to Maidwell. And that was the boy who had part of him snuffed out during those 5 years at the school. I wanted to reconnect with the carefree, happy little guy I was before I was sent to this place.
Maidwell School is taking his charges seriously and told NBC News in a statement they have reached out to the local authorities charged with protecting children. We'll follow their guidance, they say, on what we do from this point. We would encourage anyone with similar experiences to come forward and contact officials or the police.
That is one of the most disturbing and sad stories, and the fact he had to wait till he was 42 to feel comfortable to say anything. So this happened, obviously, to other kids. Have any of the other kids come forward?
Well, as part of this is not just his story. He interviews over 24 of the young men who were in school with him.
Oh. Wow.
And he is the first to say some of them experienced much worse than he did. And he felt, he told me that after he talked to them, he was compelled to write this book. So here it is. This is the galley. It's out in the U.S. this week.
So the school is just investigating? Is that
Well,
what it says?
I mean, they've gone to authorities, which now this is all contained in the period what he writes about. He was there from 72 to 77, so no allegations about what's going on there now. There are now girls there. They've increased the population, but this is really, and you know, I think he hopes men, particularly young men who have experienced this, that he can help provide some.
Wow, Cynthia.
Okay.
Thank you, Cynthia.
I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.